you miss the old MMO days? Hanging around with thousands of players who help each other, getting rewards for actually caring about dialogues, and training in the language of mushrooms so they grant you access to their dungeon. Wait, no, the last one isn't from the old days. It's from a game that was released this year called Project Gorgon. I initially found it through a comment on a previous video and the reviews on it were simply incredible. It promised nostalgia, but paired with a unique class system and tons of content to explore. So to find out for myself whether the praise is deserved, I wanted to play the game for the next 7 days. And since they haven't existed back in the day, I won't be looking at any guides, Reddits or wikis. Just a pure old school MMO experience. So let's start with the character creation. The game first gives you 3 races to choose from, which are human, elf and Rakshasa. I'm probably saying this wrong. If you have a better version, let me know in the comments. However, moving on, you can unlock fairies, orcs and dwarves if you complete in-game quests. Every race here offers a background that changes how other races see you. Humans are notoriously prudish and petty, but they are extremely loyal to their friends and allies. They value honesty and hard work and hate lazy people. Oh man, there's so much more to it. Elves say they are rude and greedy, and for how much they hate sex, you'd be surprised how horny they are. But they make great friends. They love accumulating wealth. Well, that's true. Elves are forest-loving, sex-addicted, and obsessively clean. Excuse me? What about the Rakshasas? Like a cat race? Rakshasa originally came from another world, where they were fierce and immoral warriors. But since becoming stranded on this world, new generations of Rakshasa have developed a sense of morals and righteousness. They're still learning to combine their warrior instincts and their newfound sense of fairness. In the end, I chose a human because I wanted something neutral for my first playthrough. There are 20 face options to choose from, and you can even go with the... Oh, you can change the age. Look at this. There are wrinkles now. If I put the slider down, he has a perfect baby face again. In the end, I decided on the bald guy, but I gave him a fabulous beard to make up for it. Okay, we save this preset, and then we name the character, obviously, Nifty. Hope that's not taken. And then we create. Character in use? Oh my god. Someone stole my name. Let's try 2 Ys. There we go. And we just died. Nifty will be my pet project from now on. Oh my god. That doesn't sound right. Welcome to Project Gorgon. This is a game about exploration, and your first task is to find a way off this island. We will give you 60 seconds of combat training and then set you off to explore on your own. One thing I have to point out here is that I usually love skipping dialogue or not reading any quest text. In this game, however, it's heavily encouraged to pay attention, as it oftentimes is the only way to gain the information needed. So for this game, I put my principles aside, and this should later prove vital. Okay, backpack, right click, eat. Using hardtack. We just ate hardtack. Equip the sword. Okay, there's some feeble old skeletons nearby. Walk up, click on one, then press the sword attack button at the bottom of the screen to hit it. Repeat as needed. There's a skeleton. Pressing 1. Oh my god, we hit him. Damn. That's the way. Now take that skeleton's loot. Search. Moldy ancient shirt and moldy ancient gloves of hip throwing. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on with this item already. +3 health, +3 armor, 1 power, and hip throw. We don't have that ability, I think. You found armor. Equip that. It will give you armor points, which help you keep alive. When you're attacked, half the damage is absorbed by your armor and the other half by your health. See the bars at the top of your screen? If you run out of armor, all the damage goes to health instead. If you run out of health, you die. Ooh, we look like a monk now. Now your armor bar will fill up. I guess it's this one? Yeah. Kill another skeleton with this sword. That should give you enough sword XP to raise your level. We leveled up 1 in sword and 1 in unarmed. This is a great moment to explain a bit about the class system, and the game is truly unique on that matter. As you saw, I leveled up in sword and unarmed, and not level overall. That's because there are no overall levels. In this game you simply level up what you actually do, and that becomes your class. If you want to be a sword and shield tank, you practice sword and shield. If you want to be a weather witcher that casts thunderstorms, practice weather witching. And if you want to be a cow, yes, that's actually a skill in this game, train on being a cow. The possibilities are endless, and throughout my 7 days I tried quite a few that I want to show you later on, but first we need to get off this island. You're ready to explore, that's all the basics you need to get started. Now you can explore the island. See if you can find the way to the mainland. If you get stuck, try asking for help in chat. Good luck. Let's kite him over here. Oh, he stunned me. Oh, there's a spider. Now's a good time to try to kick. Nice. Wait, we're almost dead. Holy shit, that was close. I think we're poisoned. No clue how to deal with that. And we died. You leveled up to 1 and dying. Earned 50 death XP. Wow. Your near-death experience has caused temporary insanity. You just realized that you are in the presence of a nobility. In fact, everyone around you is a king or queen except you. This is a roleplay effect, meaning that you should roleplay it to the best of your ability. It has no in-game effect. Oh my god. So I'm supposed to roleplay now that everyone around me is a king. That's so funny. There's a venom spider and a giant rat and some scrolls by the looks of it. In the demo version of the game, you can't pick up items dropped by other players. Something I haven't mentioned yet is that I started on the demo version. It's a free version of the game that lets you play until a skill reaches level 15, and if you decide to buy the full version, you can migrate your character over. The reason behind that is I wanted a goal, and that is have the game convince me that it's worth the money. So far I enjoyed the game, but it's only been 20 minutes and I don't know if I even need the scrolls. Therefore, I moved on and found the first clue to get off the island. You hear a clear monotone voice in your head say, second digit of coordinate is 9. You might want to write down stuff like this in your notepad. You can find it by pressing the quest button on the right. Is this a quest button? No. Quest. Notepad. Second digit of coordinate is 9. Okay. Study chest. This chest is locked. Who is Lavara? Another one trying to get into my chest? Well, go right ahead. You will have to get the key first. With Lavara, I was introduced to favor levels of NPCs. It's a bar that's always present when talking to one, and it indicates how much they like you. You can increase it by doing quests or giving gifts, and for some NPCs that are merchants, this plays a big part because it influences their prices. I wasn't too sure what to think about this feature. On one hand, it gives you an incentive to interact with NPCs, but on the other hand, it sounded like something you had to grind. Finding that out, however, I had to wait until the next day. If I leave, I might starve. It's better to stay here. And then the servers went down. And that sucks, I was just so invested. Since I didn't know how long it would take until I reached my overall goal, I came up with daily tasks to make things more interesting. Weird, swirly stuff's coming out of it. Looks like magic. Doesn't do anything. Okay, there appears to be like a watchtower. Let's check that out too. You leveled up to 1 in lore. Okay, at the bottom it says this is too boring. You stop reading and focus on more pressing matters. So, we're gonna do that. There's basics of alchemy. Study the recipes. Yes, you just learned the recipe parasol mushroom flakes. And that was pretty helpful, I think. Who is that? I remember you, Nofty, right? No, that's not right. Is there a way off this island? Well, you could swim. No, don't look helpful. That was a joke. So in the end, my bald bro told me that there were 4 altars like the one we found on day 1. If I had the numbers from all of them, I could use them as coordinates on this strange platform and get off the island. Oh, that's gotta be an obelisk. We have to write this down. Of the coordinate is 8. Yeah, that's it. There's one. Right behind it. We were already next to one. Third digit of coordinate is 1. Some pedestals and a strange chest. Let's check that out. It's locked via some sort of mechanism. Okay, I can touch the pedestals, but I have no idea what the order is. I guess with the order you can like somehow open this. This puzzle is actually way easier than I thought, but I didn't know at the time. So I just collected the number from the 4th altar and informed Johnny Sins. 6, 9, 1, 8. I'm 100% sure you have the correct teleport coordinate. If not, you could end up in a very bad place. The cool thing about this is if you don't have the correct numbers, you can literally end up anywhere and have to restart. So So as I said in the beginning, reading is vital in this game. Because circle. Okay, let's see if we put in the right coordinates. Did we solve the first puzzle? I successfully made it off the island. Now there was a glowing woman standing nearby. When talking to her, she reveals the game's main storyline. A dude named Dalvus wants to bring a demon army and needs to be stopped. Pretty straightforward and an MMO classic. Our task is to find out where Dalvus is and stop that nonsense. However, that concluded day 2 and left me with a new goal for day 3. So our 2 leads are an elf in town and the north. No idea where the town even is. Is this a town? I kind of want to go there first and then north. There's something over there though. Let's check it out. An altar. Let's click it. Examine. This is an ancient puzzle mechanism. If you put something in the sacrificial bowl, it will disappear and something might or might not happen. What should we put in? Dog meat? A rib bone? A spider leg? Let's put in one of our boots. We don't need all of them. Confirm. The sacrifice disappears. Nothing else seems to happen. Okay, I guess there's more to learn about this before we can use it. Cartography level 2, hell yeah. Getting cartography up gives us inventory slots permanently. That's huge. Cartography is a very prominent skill in this game because every map you discover starts fully blank. Only by walking around you discover all the locations and with it you level up. So since I hadn't discovered it yet, I didn't know what awaited me inside that massive castle. Holy, he's quick. Whoa, what is going on here? This looks like people's shops, right? So this is like a massive marketplace building, isn't it? How's it going? Talk, small talk. You chat and learn some of Tadian's opinions. Likes metal armor, loves good metal slabs or higher, loves ancient coins. What if I just give him this old coin that he likes? Now he has 7.2 instead of 0 out of 100. Current favor level. Let Tadian model a new helmet design around your head for 1 hour. You're choosing to have your character hang out with Tadian when you go offline. If you remain offline for the specified duration, you will earn a small amount of favor as well as other rewards. If you don't stay offline long enough, you will be able to resume hanging out the next time you log. Yeah, let's do that, why not? Okay, but there also seems to be like inner part of the castle. Let's go there too. Ah, here we go. Damn, there's a lot of people running around. Meditation pillar. Let's talk to the guy. Yes, we martial artists meditate to hone our minds. There's a lot of power in the mind. Let me teach you the basics. There's really nothing to it. Then you can practice on your own. Yeah, of course. Ezio was one of many NPCs that can teach you some skills. If you are neutral with him, he explains how meditation next to the pillar will grant you unarmed abilities. But if you were in his favor, you could learn mentalism, a skill that is mostly used for healing. I think it's pretty cool that you have to explore and talk to people to learn skills. But my concerns of this being a grindy process increased with every interaction. Man, there's so much going on here. So many people. There's a grindstone and a teaching golem. Hello children, it's time to begin our lesson. Today's lesson will be applied mathematics. Oh. I'm not a child. King Rasmus had 5 evil viziers. One day he baked a batch of cookies for his queen, but the viziers ate them all when he wasn't looking. So the king baked another batch, twice as big as the first one. Each vizier ate 6 cookies from the second batch, but the king managed to get the remaining 2/5 of the second batch to the queen. How many cookies did the king bake in total? In every other scenario, I would have either skipped this riddle or opened the wiki. But since I promised myself to actually read stuff, I opened up my in-game notepad and went to work. I won't spoil the results and it took me a couple of minutes, but I eventually solved it. Holy shit, I'm so smart. So what did he give us? A candied lemon. Max health plus 100. Damn. Value 304? Okay. What else is there? Whoa. Is he currently playing that? Yo, that dude has 2 bows. And he's like webbed. Bro, that looks insane. And he has some skulls on his staff. Let's examine him. Killer of foes. He has fire magic and archery. That's so cool. Assessment level 2. They're playing together or what? Slaughterer of countless foes. And his active combat skills, stringed instruments. And animal handling. How is that a combat skill? So it turns out this castle is the first main city, and I really felt something when entering this area. It felt nostalgic and welcoming to get here with these people vibing to the music. At this point I knew I was in for a treat, but the day ended a bit weird. See what that is? Dream portal? I just clicked. What? Actually in a dream now? The NPC nearby explained that the god of anarchy is breaking into the dream realm and I'm supposed to stop him. She gave me a quest that sent me north. The only problem now was that I went all the way to the map border in the north and didn't find anything besides enemies. I didn't like this area at all, and after an hour of wandering around I finally gave up and called it a day. For day 4, I wanted to learn archery. I wanted to be like the guy I saw on day 3. So what I needed was 1, a bow, and 2, arrows. But before I was able to get into that, I learned that not only Super Mario has to deal with sentient mushrooms. This seems like a poison vendor. Or mushroom at least. So you've picked a shroomy, huh? Pretty great feeling, wasn't it? Yanking the life right out of the ground. Indeed, I've murdered mushrooms and I murder again. So you know about the Myconians, eh? Yes, a kindred spirit. Nobody else believes us. Just keep it between you and me. I seriously started questioning the sanity of this guy, and after bringing him 10 mushrooms, it got even worse. You're obviously not a spy. You want to buy something? Wait, that's it? What about plot? Myconians are an ancient race of fungal people. They seek justice against those who eat their delicious offspring. And now that you've murdered so many of their kin, they'll be seeking you too. Well, better get that bow sooner than later. Ooh, he says got some arrows in from Bannerholm. Pretty good stuff, so he might be the one that has a bow. Yes, I'm buying this. And I'll probably need arrows, basic arrows. Let's buy like, ooh, 100 is very expensive. Maybe like 30? Before putting it to a test, I explored the rest of the castle. I found a dude with ADHD that wanted me to cure his boredom by doing quests that change every hour. Then I found the weapon vendor in this pristine establishment. This elf called Marna taught me first aid, which can be used to heal mid-fight. A good MMO also needs a storage system, and that was provided by Yulon the Hoarder. As of last, I found a sentient flame that wanders around the castle, and its only job is to burn stuff that you don't need anymore. Which is quite funny, to be honest. But enough with the exploration, it's time to fuck some mobs up. What if I like do attack? How do I work with my arrow and stuff? Or do I have to learn how to use the arrow first? Skills and abilities. Archery 0. Turns out you can't just fuck mobs up only because you bought a new weapon. For almost every skill you need to first find out who is teaching you the basics before you can train on your own. Who sold the arrows? Oh, he does. Okay, training. Learn archery, teach me, yes. Oh, I needed to do that. Nice. You learned the ability Blitz Shot. Fire an arrow with exceptional speed. You must have a beginner's arrow or better. So if I go to my skills now and then look at archery, and then I have an ability that I can drag in here. Or do I need to equip the bow first? Let's go ahead and do that. No, that... Ah, okay. Now it's in my primary bar. So once again, I fulfilled my daily task. And to properly test my new skill, I went back to my initial task of finding Delvos. After heading north, I was supposed to meet someone that could tell me about his whereabouts. There's a mantis, a praying mantis. I'm not dangerous. My hat indicates intellect. That's too funny. Azalak told me Dalvos created the mantises and enslaved them. To find out where he is now, I was told to check out the nearby cave. West is over there. Okay, I can now shoot at him from distance. Oh, he's unbothered. Yeah, well, I knew archery now, but the damage was underwhelming. I still tried to find the cave, but without any damage, I kept dying. And to be honest, this usually would have been a reason for me to quit. In this game, however, I really enjoyed the challenge. Not being able to just slash through these enemies made me enjoy it even more. So I decided to explore areas with weaker enemies to level my archery, and surprisingly, it led to something whole new. Man, what is a massive gate over there? Kinda wanna find out, guys. I kinda wanna find out. There's a portal here. Leonard Allenson. The door over there leads to Borghild. It was a dwarven city fortress 15 centuries ago. There's powerful knowledge in here. Dwarven secrets. After all, this is where the Duke of Serbiul died. Yeah, I'm powerful. I'm going in. Can I go in now? This area is not included in the demo. No. Do I buy the game, guys? I think I have to. This was how I eventually decided to buy the game. And with it, I completed the goal of getting convinced it's worth the money. It wasn't the fact that I couldn't enter the store without the full version. It was the atmosphere and the skill system that convinced me. And I just needed a reason to do it now. So before we go in, I needed a new goal. Good MMOs usually have good dungeons or raids, and maybe this is exactly what we are facing here. Let's check it out. It's loading. Oh my god, okay. How strong are the enemies? 275 HP. We still gotta try, right? Oh, there's so many tombstones. Oh, and he's already shooting at me. Come at me, bruv. Can I line of sight him? Okay. He's sending something. There's a ghost. I just bought the game to get absolutely fisted in here. Oh my god. Looks like that grand goal has to wait until I'm stronger. Before we go into day 5, I have to touch on something important. Okay guys, I just realized there's also an extra character slots pack that you can purchase on Steam. I don't know if I like that. Obviously they gotta make some money, but something like this always comes off a bit predatory, I feel like, because this should technically be a base game thing, right? Then there's also this VIP membership. It's $10 a month and you get what exactly? 4 extra character slots, 15 extra inventory slots for each character, access to offline advancements via the autodidactism skill. What do the reviews say? Great way to support the small team. So most people are like, it's just a great way to support the devs with $10 a month. And I think this is actually reasonable. The base game is only $25, so why not give them something back if you enjoy the game? What was so important about that? Well, I later learned that this game was mainly developed by one couple, and sadly one of them passed due to a rare form of cancer. So even though in my live reaction I said this can come off predatory, I now feel like supporting the devs is the only right thing to do. On day 5 now, I wanted to find a skill that complements my archery. Since I didn't use the wiki, I had no idea what works well, but I had to either be tankier or have something that takes the aggro off me while I fire my arrows. The first one didn't really seem to be an option, as a shield would go in the same hand, so the offhand where my bow already was. So I looked for the latter option. Stable Master, can you teach me animal taming? Ooh. Well, I would love to help you out, but I have to clean up after all the cows. Do you know how to befriend docile rats that live around here? I have no clue what this word means, that's why I'm pronouncing it like that. Well, that's the first thing to figure out. I know where you can learn it. A few weeks ago, I was talking to Fitz on the docks about the nearby island called Anagosh. Anagosh was the tutorial island from the very beginning. So somewhere on that island, I could learn how to get a pet rat. And pet rats are cool as fuck, in game of course. Finding Fitz was easy, because I spawned next to him when I died like a noob yesterday. Fitz, There you are. Can you take me abroad? No passengers, no sorry. Bruh. Fitz wouldn't take me there, but luckily there's another captain nearby that takes me with him for 300 money. There's a magic bell on the dock. When you want me to pick you up, ring it. I'll hear it. I don't know how, but I will. It's really creepy. Okay, let's go. There was a new problem now that we are here. I had no clue where to even look. However, I remembered the woman I talked to on day 1 before the servers went down had a chest. When asking her, she said the key is in a training dummy, so I went looking for that. Ooh, there's a dummy. Hold up. Did you know your attacks each have a damage type? Sword abilities mostly slashing damage, while unarmed mostly does crushing damage. Monsters have different vulnerabilities and resistances to damage, and some, like this magic training dummy, are completely immune to some types of damage. This dummy is immune to all physical types. You will need to find a way to deal non-physical damage to it. Ooh, how do I destroy this? I don't think I have anything else that does damage. Maybe we missed something down here. There's a plate here. There's a scroll. It is a spell, but I can't read it, right? I really don't know where we like... Wait, they just did something. Now what? What if I activate, like... Ah, okay. North now? No, the others are off too. What happens if I activate this? Wait, why did it just glow? This one just glows. Maybe it was the wrong order. Let's try west. No. Wait, no, it was east. Okay, wait. This, then this. Is it on? Yes. Then I went to north, so it's gotta be this. Still on. Holy shit. Please. Now what? Can I open now? Hey! Take items. Instructions for rat taming. Let's learn it. Befriend a rat. Turns out the training dummy wasn't needed, and as I said in the beginning, this puzzle was way easier than I thought. Nonetheless, I felt incredibly smart and was able to tame my first rat. Hey, stop killing my rat. The problem with befriended rats now was that they only stay with you in the area you found them in. In order to get a permanent pet, I needed Gisli's training. So Gisli, I learned. Do you know how to befriend the docile rats? Yes, I do. I'll show you the best tricks I know. My fee is just around 2,000 councils. I don't have that much. I just had to spend 300 to get to the island. Gisli has one big advantage. He teaches you without having a high favor level. But this came with a price. Getting the money now was not as difficult as I initially thought. Because my inventory was full of goods I could still sell. He says, 2k, I have 2k. You just learned the ability Tame Rat. And you just learned the ability to call Stable Pet. Alright. Oh, and you just learned the ability Sick'em. Instruct your pet to use its special attack ability. Each type of pet has a special attack, although some pets' special attacks are hardly more impressive than their basic attack. Okay, how do I tame something besides a rat? In Eltibute there's a magical altar. I haven't seen it myself, but I heard that you can learn how to tame cats that way. You need animal handling 20 to do that. Okay. Now I had the info on how to tame a rat and even knew how to get a better pet in the future. Where are them rats at? There's a rat. Tame it. Taming for 20 seconds. Hey, you little rascal. Where you running at? Damn, he's off to the distance there. Hope it still goes through. You must get closer. Stand still, please. I need to tame you. This is looking better. There we go! Send to the stable. I'm gonna call it now. There it is. How about we fight that pig? Sick him. Critical hit. Nice. Did you see that? My pet rat is more like a pit bull. With that, my daily task was complete, but I wanted to test my new skills now. And what a better way to do it than trying something I couldn't do before. So I went back to the mantises with hats, and this time around it was more doable. Is that the the cave? Looks quite like a cave. Yes, there it is. Okay, this looks a bit like the Windows icon. But alright, let's enter. Ooh, I'm excited, guys. What will we find? Brain bugs, first and foremost. I'm still dealing almost no damage, but at least I'm not dying anymore when the red tanks. As a reminder, this is a main story quest, so everyone has to do it, and I was just happy I could finally progress. Yes, I can now feed my rat. Come here. There we go. I give a pet a snack to bolster it in the middle of combat. The goal here now was to find a person for the mantis in order for them to give us info about Dalvus. So there's an instruction manual for whatever this thing does. The text here state that Dalvus was experimenting with golems that would self-destruct if anybody finds them. Unfortunately, there was no further info about his whereabouts, so I had to keep looking. However, there was a new problem when I accidentally put this entire room. My rat died, and without it I was too weak. To get it back, you either need first aid level 20 or visit Gisli again. Since both of them were not really an option, I kept going on my own and got extremely lucky. A way stronger player cleared the cave and I could just follow him and act like I was helping. Pretty good, right? By him, I mean. For whatever reason, he dipped right before I found the guy the quest sent me to look for. He didn't take the cave too well and turned into a strong-ass ghost. So for this final enemy, I looked him right in the eyes and channeled my inner Legolas. And then I ran right past him, quickly collected the quest item and died like a little bitch. We got what we needed though, and when returning to the mantis, he said that Dalvus is weak to fire and necromancy. I wasn't sure what to do with this info yet, but I was pointed towards a new region in the north to find him. However, with day 5 being a huge success, I went back to the castle and called it a day. Evan Walker's infernal chicken? Excuse me? Evan Walker appears to be that bat on a horse? Like, what is that? This horse has a cylinder on his head, and he himself is a whole ass bat. How does that happen? Going to the next region seemed a bit too early given my weakness, so I decided to tackle the other quest that I was given when escaping the tutorial island. Find a specific elf in the castle that knows about some red crystals that Dalvus makes.
Brother,
Okay, they say I am stinking. Maybe I can get into the fountain. Let's see what they say now. Ah, now I can talk to them. Okay. Well, this is pretty cool. What we learned in the character creation actually came into play here. Elves are obsessively clean and they simply refuse to interact with you until you wash yourself. Things like these are just amazing. Now Blanche told me there was a red crystal nearby that I could chip pieces of. With these pieces, she could help me find Dalvus. Chip off a chunk. Yes. Use the all on the crystal, but don't manage to get a sample. Try again. A strange deer just spawned. Bro. It's red. And it has some fragments. When returning to Blanche, she told me that the crystal was made by a powerful wizard. This meant that there's something underneath it. Before I could explore it, I was supposed to talk to the fire mage trainer Velcott. He now wanted a blue crystal that he could combine with the red one. In order to get it, I was sent to a crypt. And this was the first time I relied on the friendly community. I had no clue where that crypt was, so I asked in chat. Hey guys, where is the crypt? Southwest corner. I actually got an answer. Hell yeah. As I expected, this worked like a charm. The crypt now wasn't just another cave. It was the first dungeon. According to Velcott, I was supposed to avoid the center room. But upon arrival, someone had killed the mega spider already. I explored aimlessly and saw another boss type. With my goal in mind, I was tempted to try my luck on it, but it looked too strong. Then, however, I took a wrong turn. Danger ahead? What? You have a special intuition about supernatural dangers. It's often wise to listen to your intuition, or at least bring backup. What is it I need to know? I just need to know. There's a tomb. What could be inside? This is a boss room, isn't it? We gotta click it. Ursula. 2.4k HP. No, no, no. Rat. Come back. Wait, this is a weaker version of her. And this is the real one. A problematic one. I need to dip. My rat is dead. No, she killed my rat. It was pretty clear now that these bosses are not meant to be solo killed. If I wanted to get this goal done in the last 2 days, I would probably need help. For the moment, I focused on getting the blue crystal. The room was locked with a pin, but I was once again rewarded for reading the dialogue because Velcott mentioned it. After returning the blue crystal to him, he opened the big red crystal for me. It was another dungeon where I should learn a valuable lesson about this game. Let's read it. I know you work for the council and I pity you, but I am no ordinary bounty. Do not come further. My poisonous beast will slay you and no one will mourn you. The council is like the government of the region that also wants to stop Delvers. This note now meant we were right on his heels. They're quite tanky by the looks of it. And I'm getting plenty of poison damage. Jesus Christ, man. Am I just dying to the poison? I am. Okay. Forget everything I said before about the enemies being too strong for my build. These slugs put 1 dot on me and my rat and it was over. Dude, the poison damage is crazy. To solve this issue without the wiki, I went on a wild journey. Step 1 was to fucking rage quit. I'm not kidding, I was very mad at that point. But once again, I liked the challenge, so I went right back in on day 7. First, I leveled my archery and animal handling on some lower enemies. Then I obtained a poison resistance recipe from Mana. The ingredients I needed were water, giant spider legs, sugar and potatoes. In order to get the potatoes, I needed to get started with gardening. So I asked around and got taught how to grow a potato. Gardening also allows you to grow horse apples, which I needed to tame a mount. Therefore, while I was at it, I tamed my first horse. Since people are super kind in this game, I asked about the spider legs and once again the community is just awesome. Easiest place is Eltebul. Beretta just traded me. Dude, people are so kind. Sugar and water can be bought from a vendor, so now I had everything I needed. And craft the potion, the poison resistance. Yes, that worked. Now I could finally go back and redeem myself. Dude, my rat is so strong now. Almost one pops these guys. The satisfaction in this moment was unmeasurable. I could now progress further into the cave. There's a tornado? I can attack the tornado. And the tornado is pretty fucking strong. What the hell? It has a strawberry. Tornado has a strawberry, okay. I found Delver's secret plans to tear down some ruby walls that keep the demon army at bay. To help him do that, he is constantly experimenting with creatures like the mantises and poison slugs. Oh, and also this one he calls a minotaur. Need to find out. Uh-oh. Likely fate worse than death. 138% worse than death. You have to at least look, right? Like just a little peek. It's a cow. This enemy is elite or a boss, intended for a small group of players, very difficult to defeat on your own. So he wanted to make a miniature out of a cow, I see. I still had the goal of defeating a dungeon boss and this right here was one. But I don't know if you noticed, it had been more than 1 day since I failed to get here. In fact, I stopped caring about it because I simply enjoyed the journey. There was so much more than the typical MMO stuff to do that I continued exploring. I ventured north to a whole new region called Eltebul. It looks quite similar to the first one, but it offers a bunch of new opportunities like cheese making. In Eltebul I also found the cat altar. It asked for something cat oriented, so I gave it a cat eyeball. Yo, tame big cat. And try to lure this cat, and now we tame it. Tamed it, has been sent to the stable. Whoa. Even further north, I found an ice region where you need to make campfires from time to time to stay warm and move around. I also studied mushrooms to communicate with them because that grants you access to their cave. However, the map not only expands north, but also south to a region called Cerbule Hills. So guys, I just talked to this guy and he says he is a weather witch. And I'm wondering, can I also learn this? There it is. You can actually learn that. You can make tornadoes and shit. What is this game? That's so sick. And then on day 14, it finally happened. I found this random group and they are helping me get through this dungeon. I think they've done this before. I'm just following. I actually ran out of arrows while with them. So unfortunately, I can't even attack besides like my bow bash, and my panthers gotta do all the work, but they are so strong. They're just cruising through here. And this is actually a boss right here. Look how fast we are killing this thing. How sick is that? And with that, I completed my goal of killing a dungeon boss. It took way longer than planned, but in the end, it was the things like a helpful community, fun systems, and exploration encouragement that helped me achieve it. I think I still have only scratched the surface of what's possible in this game, so if you want to see more, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, drop a like, and I see you in the next one.